I guess I was really struggling a moment ago to feel the need to actually make a video or, record a passing thought. And one thing that did pass through my mind earlier today, maybe yesterday, was having a few people stop me and ask about the scars that I have on my hands. And quite frankly, when I was younger, I used to self-mutilate like a lot of other people, I guess, might have done it other times, but I did it with some cauterizing material or some hot, like red hot knives and spatula and just really straight lined objects to give this effect on my fingers and on one thumb and actually on the inside of my arms and on my chest, which at the time I might touch on that another time. I'm not sure if I, but one of the reasons for wanting to start and actually record anything was to share with others who've experienced really intense mental anguish and emotional distress. And I'm guessing particularly at a younger age, when you don't have an outlet or you don't have an escape route or means of escape from your circumstances, and the best way you feel you can deal with a certain situation because of how much you're suffering and you cannot externalize it. And it's really amazing actually from watching, there's a YouTube channel I watch on the odd occasion, Soft White Underbelly, and the people who go through, or the people who are recorded on that channel who've just gone through a life of torment that you can't even begin to imagine, and I can't even begin to imagine. It stays with you, or you just have, not that it stays with you, sorry, what I was trying to say is the way that it shapes you and begins to shape you, and what others who've never gone through an intense amount of suffering can understand, is how it warps your early character and really influences the person you become. And that the person that you see in the street, or the drug addict you see in a rehabilitation center, or the person that you find you're at odds with or have a conflict with, you really have no understanding, and this is the reality, of where they've come from and what suffering they've endured. And that's not your fault, obviously, but when interacting with those people, if you can come at it with a relatively open perspective to acknowledge they've gone through years of a different reality to you, and their way of dealing with people may not be the way that you deal with people, doesn't mean that you can't begin to try to communicate and understand where the other person's coming from. I noticed I just went on a slight tangent, but I don't have as much of an outlet as I would like, or perhaps engagement with my community at this time, where I get to discuss something like this with people who might benefit to hear it. Particularly some who I have interacted with at an earlier age, but because of a lack of good communication and clear communication. And when I talk about clear communication, mean, how clear communication can you have with someone when there is so much personality or so much personality to get in the way at the beginning or during? But one of the reasons that I actually originally wanted to start this and sharing this space was to hopefully express not only an openness about these things and openness about these experiences, but also the experiences which developed afterwards and the way that it influenced my character and the way I have seen it influence others' characters, and how it seems, or at least how it feels, to move past it but still carry it as part of yourself. Particularly, you know, it's funny thinking about this, that at an earlier age, my mum had warned me that it would stop me from getting job interviews or stop me from leaving a particular impression on people, having scars like this on my body. And it's never had that effect necessarily, or not that I know of, but it is bizarre and very disconnected, or it feels very disconnected to have that conversation with people now these days, and be stopped by, for example, a new friend at the gym that I work at who asked about, oh, hey, what's going on with your hands? Oh, these are scars that I used to self-mutilate as a younger teenager because of my mental anguish. Didn't tack on the mental anguish at the end, but obviously when you make that comment to some, if I really sit back and think about it, I can imagine, and it's tricky, but I guess I can imagine how, not overwhelming, but startling is the word, overwhelming, confronting for some, but obviously it's just signs of something that I may have gone through, but that's not necessarily much of a reflection of the person that I am now. But it's nice to, I suppose, when the time comes, have something and a mark to show someone who's having a similar experience or similar experiences or similar distress, to show them that they're not the only one going through that distress. Sharing myself and sharing experiences, not just myself, but just with others. Sharing yourself just seems like such a worthwhile experience, and ultimately for your own benefit, and to show at least vulnerability at times. Why not? Why not? I mean, this happened a long time ago, and it's not a big deal now, but it is something to share with another and connect with another as to and who it might help. So got something out, hey.